Take it away, Charlie.
This will be the 6th or 7th episode in a row where I'm kicking off the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to keep track of that since apparently everyone else does when I'm slacking. So let's really celebrate me doing a great job. This is episode 152 of the official podcast. Per tradition, Jackson is going to get us started with some fiery topics. Take it away.
How do you guys feel about sunburns, since that's currently what's on my mind?
Were you
I don't really go outside enough for it.
So I imagine that you
when was
look
the last
like...
time you had a sunburn, actually, Charlie?
The last time I had a sunburn?
Yeah, I feel like you've never known the feeling of a sunburn or the sun's embrace.
What are you talking about? I used to be like a really big outdoorsy kind of guy
I don't believe it.
when I was younger.
Charlie, you seem like the type to wear a t-shirt to the beach, though. I'm with Jackson. I don't know if you'd get sunburned.
Well, I don't like going to the beach, but when I have gone, I've not worn a shirt. I just put sunscreen on like a sensible man.
That's good.
So you've never had a sunburn?
Last time I had a sunburn was when I was in middle school and I went on a fishing trip, and it's just on my face because I didn't expect the sun to be ricocheting off the water and like destroying my skin on my face.
That's how it gets you. The old reflection technique.
That's why you got to hide underneath the water. Then the sun can't get you.
Does that actually make a
I'm pretty
difference?
sure that makes it...
It makes it
pretty sure it
worse.
does make a difference. It makes it worse.
Yeah, it makes
it
it
keeps
worse.
reflecting... Like, it bounces back like 3 or 6 times. So you're just getting hit constantly.
Just uses ray tracing to burn you. That's fucking sweet.
So, Jackson, what degree of sunburn are we talking here? Are you a flaky boy? Are you peeling off?
Not yet, but it's super...
Just red.
I'm super red.
Are you
dude,
just
man.
red, no stingy?
No, it stings like hell. Every time
really?
I like move, it stings.
It's super
My
funny to
neck
me.
and-
When I was a little boy in Turkey, I would, on the beach, I would always see the tourists who don't exist anymore. But, the paler the man, like the white people, you look like lobsters when you get sunburned. And I kind of feel bad for you.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's not your fault. I mean, you don't expect that when you go on vacation, the first thing that you have to do is put on copious amounts of sunscreen. But once you do not, you can see the outline of everything that happened on your face. If there was a fly on your face, you now have a white spot in the middle of all the red. It's it's funny, in a way endearing.
but mostly painful. And that's why I don't like sunburns. Why? Because humanity has always been out in the sun pretty much. Like, we have had 200,000 odd years of living out in the sun and being foragers or whatever. Why didn't we evolve? Why did we evolve to be damaged by the sun? You would think that we would gain power from the sun.
Well, not gain power, but that's what black
interesting-
skin is.
Yeah. Darker skin is more sunburn resistant.
Yeah.
I see.
Did you know
So
that?
hotter
touching
regions.
No.
People
It's a
from
true
hotter
fact,
regions.
though.
If you look
at the application instructions on sunscreen, it's literally different if you're black or white, how much and how often you put on.
I did not know the specifications of that kind of stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
if you're from the equator region and such, it's generally people with darker skin. And if you go into the Nordic regions, like here in fucking Germany, where it just rain, clouds, it's this bummer weather. You barely get any sun really here most of the year, and people are pale as
So
shit.
here's the question then. In countries where there's barely any sun, like Scandinavia and Germany and all that, where nearly everyone is white, what's the evolutionary advantage? Why do you think, why do you think we just start with really pale skin and the sun over time has to darken it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the melanin somehow protects your cells from the sun's effects. I mean, if you think about all the, those fish in the deepest parts of the ocean, like Mariana's Trench, and how they're all transparent, they never had a need to have their organs protected from light. So they don't even have skin pigments or anything like that.
Right. But what I find interesting is, the sun has been around since literally the dawn of humanity. Why did we start with skin
A
that
little
could be
longer, I
damaged by
think.
it? Yeah, exactly. Just a little bit longer. So why is it we have a whole subsection of us that just doesn't even have any protection from it, really? I guess we do have skin, but like sunburns and horrible cancers and all that shit.
It's such an easy thing to like burning your skin is just so easy.
Exactly.
I was only out for like 2 hours and now just red. It's awful.
Where
Why?
did you go?
Why is that even possible? We went and played golf, so I guess that is in the sun. But still, I was only out there for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, that's enough.
I mean, 3 hours without sunscreen, direct sun, definitely could get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't feel it happening. I didn't feel like I was burning or anything. It's just once I got home and had a nap and then woke up, I was all red.
Yeah, you don't notice
I
it in the
don't
moment.
understand.
It's kind of
I regret
crazy.
it immensely.
It's kind of crazy how shit like that changes, though. I mean, now everyone is conscious of the sun and they're like, be careful and put on sunscreen. But back in the like 50s and 60s, people would sit out for 8 hours tanning with a fucking metal plate just to get all the sun.
All right. Forgetting the sun causes you to go red thing or whatever. Why does it give you skin cancer then? Why do we get skin cancer from the thing that sustains us?
Isn't it?
I honestly don't know.
Who hates us up there? What's happening?
Oh, well, yeah, the odds are always just stacked against us. Hey, the weather is out now. Nice out. Yeah, the sun kills you, though. It kills your cells, makes you age faster, too. Anything that tastes good is unhealthy. All the fun stuff. If you move around too much or the wrong way, you'll get an injury in your shins or some shit, and you won't be able to ever walk again. Fun.
So many things are just bad for you.
We're so fucking fragile.
But it's just ironic that we need the sun. We need the sun, and it's killing us as well, though.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. We're in an abusive relationship with the sun.
Did you know that lime? I was looking this up the other day. I spent like an hour researching citrus fruits. Did you know that lime can damage your skin beyond recognition? If you squeeze if you put it on your skin,
did you mean like just by eating it or rubbing it?
No. So apparently this is something that bartenders sometimes suffer from if they are not careful. If you leave some lime residue on your skin, like if you just squeeze the lime on the top of your hand and then you went outside and in the sun, apparently the lime does something to your skin. It photosynthesizes your skin and it turns into an absolutely fucked up skin condition.
Wow. Is it one of those things where it's like you got to be squeezing a lot of limes throughout the day, or can it just happen?
I have no idea.
What I want to know is, like, should Charlie freak out about it? Because Charlie's going to freak out about it.
Why would I freak out about it? I don't even eat limes.
Oh, thank
Let
God.
alone like bathe in them.
Delicious.
He's already taken precautionary efforts.
Yeah. He's like, I don't even eat limes, guys. Ha ha ha. Meanwhile, his girlfriend's downstairs just throwing away all of his limes quickly.
Just messaged her.
Hazmat gloves on.
He has an incinerator, fucking garbage chutes just for the dangerous stuff. One for the cockroaches, one for food. Yeah, so did you guys see Edward Snowden on JRE?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
It was 3 hours long and I couldn't sit through all of it because it was just Edward talking. I don't think Joe even opened his mouth, but the funniest part to me was at the very beginning. I don't know if you caught that part. Edward tries to act like he's so cool and high and mighty above Joe that he's never even heard of his podcast and never even thought about coming on it. It was the most awkward. Like, I looked at your logo, Joe, and I have to say your logo is the worst representation for your show. I think I had heard your name before, but I was really not sure if, who you were or what it is you do. And then one day I went into my Twitter mentions and I saw that your fans, they really like me and want me on the show. It was an awkward, like, I've never heard of the biggest podcast on the planet.
Was that legitimate? He just went on there and insulted his logo for a little bit and said it doesn't represent him properly.
He was negging.
And that he could design him a better logo. Yeah.
It felt like negging to me. He was saying that the logo doesn't, his logo looks goofy because it's just a smiling bald man, but then the topics they discuss are sometimes serious and political and all that shit. But it was funny to me to have that guy on your show, on a show like Joe Rogan's, and then you get backhanded with a comment like that.
Is Snowden just like socially unaware?
He seems very eloquent. It felt like he had prepared for the presentation. He called in over Skype or something because he's still in exile. So I feel like that's the only interview Joe's ever done or with someone over Skype.
Well, that's extenuating circumstances. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he's about to be assassinated after all.
I would not be surprised at all either on that.
Is he really though? Like he may have blown the whistle, but did anything really come of it?
Yeah, not really. And also, what point is there in killing him now?
Exactly.
Because he was on Joe Rogan. It'll make a statement.
No one gets that close to Joe Rogan and
Don't talk to
lives.
Joe.
Well, I definitely agree with Jackson for real though. Making a statement, you blow the whistle, you get fucking rubbed out. Don't do it.
Rubbed out.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, do you guys remember Panama Papers? How big of a deal that was supposed to be, and then it was just kind of a nothing burger, even though it was like a.
Did anyone read it?
I know a lot of people did, but the person who blew the lid off it, that woman, was killed in a car bomb assassination.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Purely accidental.
That should have been much bigger news, but for some reason, collectively, everyone forgot about the Panama Papers.
Some reason.
That's
they control the
exactly what they
media.
wanted you to do.
No, but even like on Reddit and stuff where they're like all about this kind of shit, like, yeah, Panama Papers, let's take down big business, boys. Wait a minute, Rick and Morty's coming back. And then everyone just
Yeah, The
collectively
Office.
forgot.
Here's another Office meme.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, wait a minute. There's no Michael Scott reaction image for this? Fuck it. I'm done.
truth be told, though, if tomorrow morning I found out that one of you died in a car bomb, I'd be reluctant to talk about it either. I'm not taking chances. Fuck this.
Kaya hears we died in a car bomb and his first thought is, oh, how does this affect me?
Time to go underground.
I gotta go into hiding. Yes, my name is Joseph Schlongonger. I'm from Poland.
What would it take for someone to convince you guys to well, not necessarily kill? Well, yeah, I guess kill yourselves. Like say they've got dirt on you, and they want you to disappear. Like you're an Edward Snowden situation. What do they have to do to you? What do they have to do for you, perhaps, to make you disappear, commit suicide, or anything like that?
What are you talking
What do
about?
you
It's not
mean,
like they asked
disappear?
Edward Snowden to please leave.
Yeah. Kind of fled, I
Oh,
think.
Edward.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. government was like, hey, could you leave the U.S. if we paid you $1 million, Edward, instead of, shipping you off to Guantanamo so we can waterboard you until you die?
They were trying to butter him up. Oh, Edward, geez, man, this really puts a wrench in our plans. Could you,
Well, maybe that's
please?
all it takes. I think everyone has a price, so maybe if they find the price high enough, they could have got Edward Snowden rather peacefully.
So are you saying
Why,
like a
why
high
does that
price?
help them, though? Why the fuck would the U.S. government want to peacefully get Edward Snowden out of the country when their goal was to bring him back and torture him?
I just believe in democracy, Charlie. I believe in a utopia where
honestly-
humans can coexist.
I don't think that he's that important of a character, at least not right now, not anymore. I would imagine... Yeah, Snowden. Because he's already done all the damage. I would imagine that both the U.S. and Russia and some other parties at most have like a little teams just keeping up with him, checking in from time to time just to make sure he doesn't release anything new or that he doesn't know anything new. I can't imagine him being just on the priority top list at the CIA or whatever it is.
Who do you think is at the top of that list?
Well, right now
even
it's
know.
al-Baghdadi, I think, or whatever remains of his exploded corpse.
Who?
Dude blew
The
himself
guy
and
that just got assassinated.
Well, he wasn't assassinated. He was hunted down by the U.S. troops, and he blew himself and 3 of his children up with a explosive vest.
Wow, fun.
First I've heard of that.
Yeah.
So he was the leader of ISIS. Why would he be the
First you've
most
heard of that?
searched for person in CIA?
Because he's the leader of ISIS. I don't know. I just watched it.
Yeah, but not anymore. He's dead.
Yeah,
So then
yeah,
probably
you're
the
right.
second in command of ISIS is now the most wanted man. The FBI just really fucking hates ISIS.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. I
hope so.
want to believe the top like 9 of the top 10 are probably just ISIS members.
I don't know. Do you guys think that the FBI's top 10 is just... sometimes I feel like maybe it's just a popularity contest they put out to placate the masses. Just have something going on in case anyone has a tip on these low priority fuckers, but in secret they have their own
absolutely is.
actual top 10.
I mean, it absolutely is if they're notorious, just to get any information from anyone they could. I mean, there always is going to be someone who hasn't heard of these people, but if they know something, It's only helpful to have a list. You know what I mean?
One thing I learned from
Yeah.
watching Outbreak on YouTube, Outbreak's the show about prison escapes and how they escape prisons. 9 times out of 10, the only way they ever get the people back or catch the people is just someone anonymously gave them a tip for money. Because like what happens is they escape, and then immediately the cops and everything, they just fucking suck at what they're doing. Like they set up a perimeter, but then half the time they never gave the photo of what the person looks like, so they just drive through the perimeter after the cops chit chat. And then like 2 weeks or a couple months later, they like raise their bounty on the guy, and someone calls in saying, the guy lives next to me. He's been here for like 2 months. And they're like, all right, we'll come get him. So
See, that's what I mean. Everyone has a price.
Yeah.
It's
that
but
not at
God,
all coincides with what you
Well,
said.
let's
I'm
be
talking
honest,
about their
though.
ineptitude to do it themselves. Like
If the price was high enough, the dude would have turned himself in. I'm sure. If the police said,
To get his own money? That's not how that works.
I love that as some sort of a life insurance where I break out, I quickly run to my girlfriend or wife or mom, and I tell them to hand me in so they get the money.
no, all right. Well, obviously not a currency. But if you say, all right, you come back and we'll lower your sentence by 1 year, or something like that, like incentivize him to come back, and then he just does it again to get a lower sentence. He just keeps breaking out.
That's the dumbest fucking idea, but Charlie's right. These people are so goddamn incompetent. Just think of Ted Bundy, who broke out multiple times out of captivity just to go on raping and murdering women. At one time, he was in court and he asked one of the dipshit donut-eating cops if he could just take a phone call in another room, and they said sure. And so he jumped out of the second-story window and ran for it. The incompetence is fucking staggering.
He was charismatic, though.
But
Yeah.
this is one thing I noticed from the prison escapes as well. I mean, you have to keep in mind, to these people, like those cops at the prison, it's just a job. Like, are you going to put your life on the line just to stop some guy who's there on weed charges from breaking out? And if it's going to cost you your life, probably not.
No,
You'll probably
not
just let it
weed
go.
charges.
Well, then they shouldn't be hired.
There's a certain country, Kaya might know, I think it's Switzerland, where breaking out of prison isn't illegal. Because they eventually realize that 1, people are going to try to break out, and 2, most people aren't going to want to stop them because they don't fucking care.
Or is it just immoral to hold people against their will? And that's
fuck
why,
that.
Because Switzerland is the greatest country in the world.
I don't think the
little far.
weed example is good. I just mean people like Bundy who have mutilated, murdered, raped multiple people. Maybe keep an eye on that guy. Maybe don't take the handcuffs off ever. Not even to let him
but then
take
you
a
have to
call.
think again. Early 20-something prison guards got the Ted Bundy case as he's taking a phone call and the dude starts scaring him. He's probably not going to sacrifice himself to stop him from jumping out a window. Like, if you're a cashier at Walmart and Ted Bundy's...
Some guy in a
Think of the
prison
promotion.
jumpsuit and... Huh?
I was going to say, just think of the promotion. Like, if you stop Ted Bundy from jumping out the window to freedom, you'd get a sick promotion.
No,
from
you
that.
would not. You would not. You get a
Okay.
pat on the back and maybe like a small birthday cake to celebrate.
Honorably discharged, immediately fired.
Yeah, but I just at that point you just think that guy he is shackled. I have a gun. I'm supposed to be keeping track of him. How is that difficult? Just don't get distracted, for God's sake.
Yeah, we haven't been around a Ted Bundy, so maybe it is like a very tense and scary situation.
I don't
not scared
think
of
he was
Bundy.
scary. I think he was a very charming man, which is why everyone just sucked his dick. I highly doubt it was him being intimidating. His entire public persona was, in fact, that he is not scary, that he's just this cuddly little, hey, I'm just Ted, man. Teddy. You know, me, handsome lawyer.
How about we flip the script then on the discussion and make it about Charles Manson, because that guy was fucking scary. Have you seen his
Creepy, yeah.
interviews in
Goofy.
court? Oh my god, he was amazingly creepy.
And
Well,
Joe-
how did he attract people to his what do you call it?
He ran a cult.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, how did he attract people to his
Music.
cult if he was a really creepy person?
Probably
Helter
music, I don't
Skelter.
remember.
He talked about how there was going to break out a war between the blacks and the whites and all that sort of stuff. So it's a cult. Every cult is going to attract people eventually somehow.
Yeah, but most cult leaders are pretty charismatic, from what I have read.
Not
And
really.
if the dude's just creepy,
Creepy to you, he's attractive
all
to
the-
lots of people.
Yeah, all the cult
Yeah.
leaders are super creepy looking. They all look pretty much the same, but to those people, they're like God.
Yeah.
Not before the cult happens. Once they get like into the cult and like the cult becomes popular and they dedicate their lives to that, that's when they get all disheveled and shit because they live that lifestyle. But before that, they're usually charismatic, successful individuals to some degree.
I mean, cult leaders are some of the most charismatic people on earth. They have to be.
Still, so maybe here's my solution. Here's what I would do. I would hire, those piece of shit cops that just shoot unarmed people, like that motherfucker who
Jesus.
No, hear me out.
Let's give him a job.
Right, so if that guy has to
Promotion.
exist in law enforcement, put him in prison so he doesn't let Charles Manson go or Ted Bundy. You want to play loosey-goosey and just shoot people? Okay, well, here's Ted. You're tasked with watching him. If he so much as looks at the exit sign, I want you to shoot him 27 times and then tell me that it was a good shoot.
Your problem is he's not going to shoot him as he's escaping. He's going to shoot him while he's asleep in the bunk.
I'm fine with that, too.
Along with the other
Who's gonna cause an uproar about that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm fine with that.
That's a good point, though. Yeah, if you're gonna just give
a
them a
good
paid
point.
vacation anyway, put them in a prison on the next assignment. Then when they go all like trigger happy, it's like targets.
You're
that
the
no
one
one's-
talking about the people in prisons are just on drug offenses. Do you think they deserve to
Not
be
them,
guarded
okay,
by
but don't mix them into the... Ideally,
talking
everyone
about?
who's in prison for drug anything should be out. Maybe not the cartel people who kill people over drug shipments, but the low-level street weed dealer, he shouldn't be there in the first place. But I'm talking about these high-profile cases where it's just such a fucking embarrassment to our species that Ted Bundy escaped like twice using the same trick.
Okay, so high security prisons should have this foolproof system of public executions.
One time, this
Well, it's
guy
not exactly public,
jammed
it'd be
his
on private
door.
property.
One time, this guy jammed his door
Yeah.
during a court hearing like a teenage daughter and refused to come out, and he threw a little hissy fit. That is mind-boggling to me. Why do you give him a door to lock in the first place? Just kick it down and shoot his ass. This is insane how we apparently need to humor these monsters.
The only people who should be locked up, though, are those who don't even consider using ZipRecruiter. Because ZipRecruiter is one of the most premier hiring websites on the entire internet. Hiring can be a very slow process. Go ahead, Kaya.
So we usually emphasize the hiring part, but, a lot of people who listen are young, so maybe for you the better aspect here is that, when you apply for a job, you have to submit your resume on so many different websites, on so many different... you have to send it to every company individually and hope for a phone call back. ZipRecruiter helps you out because you only have to upload your resume there, you make a profile, and then within 24 hours, if a company is interested in you, they pretty much just get employees served to them that are fit for the task that they were looking for. And which makes it easier for you because you just use one website and thousands of people who are looking to employ can see your resume. So that's ziprecruiter.com/official.
With results as good as what you're hearing here, which is 4 out of every 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter getting a quality candidate in the first day, I don't know why you wouldn't use ZipRecruiter. You can see why ZipRecruiter is effective for businesses of all sizes. Try ZipRecruiter for free at the web address ziprecruiter.com/official. That's ziprecruiter.com/OFFICIAL. ZipRecruiter.com/official. ZipRecruiter is the smartest way to hire. Stop recruiting like an old man and talking to people face to face. Use the internet. There's millions of people on it. ZipRecruiter.com/official. It's on the internet.
Effective.
That's their tagline. It's on the internet.
To get back real quick to Jackson's question, Jackson, so my price, if that guy from Breaking Bad who makes you disappear and gives you a new identity, if he was real, I would probably take that deal. I'd try to gather that money.
So
How
here's,
much?
hang
How
on,
much
hang
roughly?
on. Jackson, hang on. I just need you to clarify. Do you mean a high price or a low price? Like, are they offering me money or are they going to kill my family if I don't do it?
I'm confused. Well, both.
So there's 2 ways you can make someone disappear. You can either say like, I'll give you $10 million right now if you disappear, or they can say like, I'll kill all your family members if you don't disappear.
No,
He's
no,
saying,
no,
what are
no.
you
Well,
guys
that's not
talking
an
about?
option.
Who does that? I want you to disappear, so I'm going to pay you to disappear. If they want you to disappear, they'll probably just kill you themselves or take you away.
No,
They're
it's
not gonna pay you to
a
leave.
bribe. It's a bribe.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
like a
that's
bribe,
because
you
you're
don't
only hearing
necessarily-
about those situations, Charlie, because
Yeah.
they're unsuccessful,
If-
and my method is successful. If you just pay the people, they go away and you never hear about
Exactly.
it in the media.
What if I find out some big ass scoop on like Exxon, and then Exxon CEO calls me up and he goes, "I'm going to give you $5 million if you don't talk about anything and you just disappear."
Oh, I see what we're talking about now. I thought Jackson was
Yeah.
talking about like a Snowden case, like the example he used.
That's why I was asking: is this like a
Either
good
way, yeah.
disappear, like I get something, or a bad one?
What's the difference? Even if hypothetically, if the American government before the scandal broke out said, "Hey Ed, we saw you accessed our mainframe, but if you disappear for $5 million, we won't kill you."
Exactly. Like, what are the stakes here? Is it a good situation or a bad situation? Because I think that would change how willing you are to do it.
Well, all right. Well, let's go with your example.
Not for me.
You've stumbled across the greatest like breakthrough in like Exxon's manifesto or whatever, and they're gonna pay you a sum to disappear, or you could go public and be a hero across the world.
But then get
for about
shit
2 days on Reddit.
Yeah,
For
and then
about
get
2
shit from
days.
doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So I risk getting car bombed for the next like 6 months just to be popular on Reddit for 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. But
Let's think
I was
about
talking
that
about
one.
a situation like I don't know, man. I wish I was anonymous. I saw a news article, maybe I brought this up before, about one of Epstein's. Was it Epstein, the guy who supposedly killed himself in jail? I keep
Yeah.
confusing my Steens here. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. One of his associates just disappeared, and the police cannot find him because he does not have a phone, email address, a known location, or any entry in any database, apparently. So this guy technically just
See, that's what
doesn't
they want you to
fucking exist.
believe.
Huh?
That's what they want you to believe. But the government just paid him to disappear. He took the money and now he's vanished.
Into
maybe
the
well-
afterlife.
Maybe I'm
He took the money to his grave.
I'm just
That very
jealous
well could
of
have happened, though.
of someone who in 2019 is still able to live off the grid. Right, when ATMs even have facial recognition, I'm jealous of that man's ability to just disappear when he feels like it. So if that carpet cleaner vacuum guy from Breaking Bad was real, I forget how much he costs. I think it's like $100,000. I'd scrape it together right now. I'd love to just live a new
Clearly,
life.
if this guy knows Jeffrey Epstein and is involved in that case, and he was able to disappear, our fear mongering of mass surveillance is over exaggerated.
I don't
Of
think
course
so.
it
I
is.
think the rules for very powerful, connected, and rich people are a little different than the average schmuck like us.
That's true.
I feel like it would be more stringent for those in power.
Oh yeah,
I guess
Jackson. You know, because powerful people aren't above the law or anything. They always get away
No,
with
but
it.
I mean, they're above the law, but they've also got like other nations that would be looking for dirt on people.
The system,
I doubt
the system is more.
The act of being more known, I feel like, would present more of a threat to you.
The system
It'd be
makes
harder
them
to
more
go
known
away.
and bigger, but they also have a lot more outs and ways to deal with it because of their power. I mean, think about it. If you're like a low-level dude and you find out Exxon's secrets, they can either just bribe you or be all like, "We will sue the fuck out of you if you say anything." But if you're a high-power dude and you find out their secrets, there's going to be a lot more eyes on you, but at the same time, you have a lot more ways to get out of it. A lot more power and sway and influence and money.
Yeah, what power level is that?
9,000? I don't know. What are you talking?
How much XP do you
What
need?
do you mean? I don't know the exact measurement of when a man can suddenly take on a gas company.
$1 billion.
It's not
Is
in
that
my
what
repertoire.
Exxon was? I've always wondered what Exxon was. Exxon's the big company that went down in like the early 2000s, right?
No,
No,
they're still
that's
around.
Enron. And that's
Enron,
Enron.
right.
Exxon is the ExxonMobil, the gas oil company, the really big gasoline company.
So what did Enron do?
They fucked over their employers because they just ended up not doing anything but pretending they were doing stuff. So they inflated their worth and their stock prices, and they were like, "We're doing great. Look at all this business we're doing. We're making so much money." And then it turns out they did literally nothing. And then eventually their company just up and fucking disappeared overnight, and the CEOs made bank off of that for selling all their stuff. Well,
So
the
just a bunch
employees
of
got
fraud,
fucked.
basically.
A bunch of it was a lot of fraud. a ton of fraud.
I heard the CEO of Enron or whatever it was is now out and looking to invest his money. He's still got like millions of dollars apparently. He's looking to invest his money.
Yeah, he still has
in a new startup.
millions. Let me tell you.
Well, I don't understand. He does.
I wouldn't
Apparently.
trust anything that man says.
Oh yeah.
Not at all. He fucked over hundreds of thousands of employees.
Well, that's what
he
they
was also
deserve
one-
for not using ZipRecruiter.
That's right. There was no ZipRecruiter when Enron happened. Now it'll never happen again.
Well, not as long as car bombs are around.
Yeah.
So what is he investing in now, Jackson? An esports team?
I don't know.
Oh.
The Enron Lightning. That'd be fun.
Hey man, maybe he would invest in us. We could use some intelligent people leading us around.
Charlie,
I don't like
Intelligent.
cooking the books.
What the fuck would we use
Yeah.
investment money for? What would they possibly be
Whatever he
investing
wants,
in?
strippers.
Ah,
don't care.
what an
What would
investment.
we
He'll
use
make
the
his
money
money
for?
back on that.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess that's not really an investment. That's just
A
fun.
gift, yeah.
yeah, that's to keep us
A
quiet.
gift.
Yeah, to keep us quiet.
Uh,
We need to get some dirt on Enron ex-CEO.
Yeah, start Googling. Charlie brings up something interesting, though. He said hosting an esports team. Boys, with how esports is shaping up and how it's becoming, like, the sport, how long until we have, like, the Walmart Barracudas in our esports? How long till, like, the Target, I don't know, marksmen are an actual esports team?
What are you talking about? That already exists. Samsung has their own team. They have for a long time.
Samsung's kind of different, though. Because Samsung
Why is that different?
Samsung's like a tech company. They actually make that shit. I'm talking about like the most generic. Like, how long do we have the McDonald's fighters? You know what I'm saying?
Well, how do we have that
Yeah.
in racing or anything? I
Yeah,
that just doesn't
absolutely.
happen
Well, they
anywhere.
they
They
100%.
sponsor things,
No.
but they're not called the McDonald's Racers.
If
But they're
pay enough,
usually
they are.
like they're usually like driving number 88 sponsored by Wonder Bread or shit like that. How long?
Well,
until-
it's the stadiums.
how long do we
the
have an
stadiums that are
esports
named after
team
them.
called like the Crushers, sponsored by Pepsi?
Yeah, see, now that's a lot more realistic, and that already kind of exists in like Overwatch. Some of the smaller teams have names like that.
Like what?
Dallas Fuel, and they're sponsored by I think that's not G Fuel, but it's something along those lines. Can't remember exactly what.
But see,
we
if it's
do that?
if it's along those lines, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like the most generic big brand sponsor, like ExxonMobil presents the tacklers, that kind of shit in esports. How long?
Not long.
Yeah,
Do
probably
you think it would
not.
ever happen, or would that be like
Oh, yeah.
brand diminishing?
Why wouldn't that
No.
happen?
It would happen in any growing industry that accepts sponsors, obviously.
Boys, what's something you often consume now that has a bad effect on you, but it didn't used to? Because I have one that depresses me.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, I love green tea. It's very yummy, both hot and cold. But every time I've been drinking it lately, it just gives me a stomach ache. So I want to know if there's something that like you used to love, and it's just rubbing you the wrong way now.
Alcohol.
That's another good one too. I'm also in that boat
What's
with
happening
you.
with alcohol with you?
I
Do
don't
you get like
drink it.
indigestion or something? What?
No, it makes me sick as shit the next day, no matter what. Now,
Yep.
no matter how much I drink.
I'm in the same boat. I could have one beer, and while I'm not going to get like, fucked the next day, I'll wake up just feeling warm and have a stomach ache and not feeling great. Just sucks.
Might need to hydrate more.
How about you guys? I need to what?
Hydrate more.
No, it's not even that. When I go home, just to be safe, because I'm paranoid, I drink Pedialyte and a bunch of water. It doesn't help. Just
Nah,
fucks
but
with my
not
tummy.
like that. It's sometimes I go on these binges and I genuinely don't wake up with a hangover because I force myself to also just slam glasses and glasses of water. If you drink way more water, it just, I don't know why, but it has a great effect.
But it sounds like Charlie and Andrew are saying that they only drink like one alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Even if you're severely dehydrated, it shouldn't have that kind of effect on you the next day, right?
No,
Yeah.
then I don't know
Everyone
what's
reacts
wrong with
differently.
you.
This shit just always makes me sick.
I don't know what it is either. Maybe tolerance is just completely gone because I stopped drinking it for a long while, and now I don't know.
When?
Oh God, I stopped. Fuck, I don't know. Maybe the beginning of this year, a little before that. Like, very rarely do it, and even then, when I did, just like 1 or 2 drinks.
Have you noticed any severe changes in your body, Andrew, from like early 20s to where you are now?
Yeah, I'm feeling the effects of getting older. In that,
Yeah, but like any drastic things, because not just like, oh, I've got sore bones or whatever that you old people say. Just like
Fuck you.
Like
It's gonna hit you too, you motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, I'm already sore. I'm very sore all the time. But one of my most recent ones is I've been noticing I'm farting like at least 10 times more than I've ever farted.
did you change your diet?
No, my diet has not changed at all. But my gastrointestinal circuit must have changed somehow, because I'm providing so much flatulence. It's incredible. And I've never really been much of a farter, and it always used to be silent farts. Like I didn't even have to try to like do a silent fart. It just kind of squeezed out. But now they're the loudest fart. I can outcompete anyone in farts pretty much. It's great. Well, maybe not you.
Yeah, Kaya's got fucking nuclear DEFCON warnings going off when he farts.
That's my fucking
His
esport.
farts aren't that loud.
Oh,
No, not for
just
the
because
noise,
I've been
but for
farting in your
the
face.
effect.
Here's a story.
Yeah,
so,
Charlie, a chlorine gas bomb isn't that loud, but boy, is the smell powerful.
I've never smelled one of Kaya's farts, even when he was here. I've only heard them a few times, but only when they were directly into the mic.
I'll send
my
a jar.
farts don't smell either.
Yeah, send us a frozen fart from Turkey.
Distilled into
That'll
a
go
vial.
over well.
Man, yesterday I was farting so hard too, but so you guys know how I do this 1 meal a day shit, so I figured I'm gonna make a yummy kale soup type thing. I bought all the ingredients, I come home, hours later I realized now the shop's closed by that time. I forgot the kale. It's the only ingredient I forgot, and I have nothing else at home. I'm so fucking hungry, so I just stir-fried a bunch of tomatoes, garlic, and onion. A lot of garlic and onion. Literally just stir-fried garlic and onion with 2 measly tomatoes in it. And it tasted pretty goddamn good, but the next morning I woke up and I farted my way through my house. I had to open windows so it wouldn't get too bad.
What? I never used to fart. What's changed? Does your body just...
Jackson, that's another one
no idea.
I can tack on that. So growing up, Mexican food, and specifically like Taco Bell, never did anything to me at all. I'd eat it. It was perfectly fine. But now every single time I eat like a burrito or Taco Bell, I just have these like warm farts that come out of me constantly. All the fucking time. Like that feeling where when you fart, it like feels like you shit your pants, but you didn't.
Yeah, it warms your ass.
That's normal shit.
So
Exactly.
I don't know why,
It's kind of pleasant, but then you get scared.
No. I'm talking about I've just had toast for breakfast and I can't stop farting my way out to check the mail.
It's like squeaky shoes. Every step.
It's actually
You might
starting to
have an
annoy
issue,
me
yeah.
with how...
You should talk
think-
to a doctor, maybe.
Well, I don't really want to talk to a doctor about my farting. That sounds...
Well, you're talking to
That's
us
what they're
about it.
there
Just
for.
pretend
You
we're your doctor.
You don't go in there
I
and
don't like
say,
doctors, though.
"Doctor, I'm farting too much." You can just put it classily, like I have gastrointestinal issues. I'm not regular.
Well, at this point, I won't even have to say anything. I'm just going to walk in and shit my pants, pretty much.
Oh, that was a warm one, Doc. You know the warm ones, they always smell.
Jackson's not even going to talk to the doctor. He's just going to communicate in farts.
Morse code farts, yeah.
Can you tell the health of a person by their farts?
According to the
Obviously,
internet, you can.
Yeah, there's a pseudoscience out there where they smell your farts and they're like, "Oh, I see you're suffering from depression." Oh,
Well, not to
There's
that
like a
degree,
fucking
but
fart chart.
I
fart
think
chart?
obviously whatever comes out of your body is an indicator of what's going on inside. You know, like how some doctors use your breath to see if you may have some sort of an issue. They can tell from your breath if you have like blood sugar issues and shit. They take poop swabs.
yeah, but
I mean, farts are kind of close, so they should be able to whiff the fart of a patient. I feel like the only reason that field has not advanced very much is because nobody wants to have people fart in their faces in med school.
But isn't that kind of more extreme cases? Like if they smell your breath, aren't they smelling for like decay so they can tell if you have like intestinal neurosis or something?
Well, there's not. Is there really a smell test? I don't know if that really exists.
Not a smell
that sounds really
test.
subjective and hard to focus. Like,
No, it's just one symptom is, I don't know for what illness, but if your breath smells fruity and sweet, it could be an indicator if all the other symptoms also line up. I'm not saying it's this. It's not reading tea leaves. It's simply, this air that is coming out of your stomach, this doesn't smell correct.
I guess
You can have that fucking tongue infection.
theoretically.
That's disgusting. Some mouth infection, like fungus in your mouth. That'll smell like hell.
So how would it work for the fart smell test? Is it like, oh man, your farts smell great today. I got to get you to the hospital.
Don't
Like, what do
they?
you think?
I feel like they'd have to shove a funnel up your ass and direct it straight into their nose. Like some contraption.
They have a
Like
little funnel with a tube.
yeah.
Colonoscopy for your nose. Like,
They have that.
Just hits them.
They have that fart helmet from Jackass where they fart in
Yeah,
it, and
hits
it's a
them
fucking
straight in the
diver
head.
helmet, and they put it on and start analyzing.
You can tell how unhealthy you are by how much they vomit.
smells like beans and colon cancer. Well, sir, I'm afraid we're gonna have to get you on chemo. Let's see how you
think-
smell after 2 rounds.
I think I smell sprinkles. Let's test you for diabetes.
Farting's usually a healthy thing, though, right? Because you want what's in there out. So
Oh yeah.
It's just
it's
air.
better. It's better that I am farting a lot. Perhaps maybe it just means I've turned a new leaf. I'm really healthy now.
That's probably
fart a
not
lot.
what it is.
Okay.
No, that's probably
Well,
what it is.
Charlie
If your
would
body is
actually know.
doing it, it's meant to do it. Don't worry.
Yeah. If your body's
Just
developing
sometimes
cancer, it's meant to
ejaculate
do
during
it.
my dreams. That doesn't mean it's healthy. I'd still get checked, Jackson.
No, but it also doesn't mean
Okay,
you're
I'm not
not
gonna take your
healthy.
advice. You're a classic hypochondriac.
I don't think
Actually, it does mean
you're
you're-
like.
Healthy. Isn't that doesn't that happen to boys during puberty? Isn't that a sign that they've now reached the stage where they actually start to produce sperm? It's an
They start
indicator
farting?
that everything is
Yeah, what?
ejaculating in
I
their
can produce sperm now?
ejaculating.
Ejaculating in their
About me.
farts? What? Oh. Kind of cut
Jesus.
out, and you just said ejaculating in their blank, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Wait, ejaculating in their dreams. Charlie's saying that he still has dreams where he ejaculates.
Yeah, your point was if it's coming out of your body, it's healthy. And I said, well, I still ejaculate during my dreams, but I don't think that's really a healthy sign of a 25-year-old
Well, that is
man.
actually healthy. That means that
not
your body's
unhealthy.
cleaning out your semen.
Hey,
I mean, aren't you supposed to like regularly ejaculate? And if you don't, that's why your body does it in your dreams.
No, it can't. Your body can hold on to semen for a while. I'm pretty sure you don't need to. Right?
but you should.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
not saying you shouldn't.
I mean,
I
from
don't
what
know.
I've seen, isn't it only bad if it's painful or there's blood? Like if there's something where it shouldn't be,
What?
isn't that when it's bad? Otherwise, it's fine.
Wait, you're coming blood?
Well, people can if there's something wrong, like if you have testicle cancer or something.
I don't want to talk about this. This is highly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is.
Another
But,
thing that I've noticed with aging is saggier ball sack. I really
Yes.
can't
Yeah,
run. I
well, that's
cannot
just
run
gravity.
anymore.
It's depressing too because it makes your dick look a little smaller.
Just wait until everything else starts
Well, I
sagging.
don't know about that.
Well, think about it. If your dick's hanging out and then your nuts are getting lower, your dick's not going to hang down as far comparatively, so your dick's going to look smaller.
We should really.
Oh, that's what's
try
going
to-
on.
We should really try to change public perception so that a man's virility and attractiveness is based off the size of his testicles instead of his penis.
I have the smallest nut sack in the world. I wouldn't like that.
I'd be fine with that.
But it's saggy, so it kind of gives the impression of size, right?
Not really.
I'm still in favor of us changing it so fat people are deemed hot or something. So everyone gets
I
fat.
still think that's one of our best schemes.
Now, I always forget how that works. Why do you want them hot? Because then wouldn't the fit people not be desired?
No, so the idea is to get
They'll
the
always
men
be
to think
desired.
that it's hot, so they overeat and get fat, whereas
Oh,
the
the
women
men,
obviously
okay.
biologically will never be attracted to obese people but us. The
Oh,
only.
I thought you meant get the women fat. I was like, this seems counterproductive.
Ew, no. What the fuck?
I'm so sorry. That was horrible. I shouldn't say that. Let's go back to talking about coming blood. Okay. No, I'm on board with this plan.
Yes, beauty standards.
Well, we should. I lost it.
I feel like I'd accidentally get obese during that period.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. Everyone else would be getting super fat, and I'd want to join in. I wouldn't want to be one of the ones left out.
All the gym
man.
bro, like fast food, McDonald's gets mirrors, whole body mirrors, so people can flex in front of it, show off their guts, just how fat they got. Look at my gains, bro. Yeah, dude, I got the double decker cheeseburger. I gained this tit. Look at my left tit.
I mean, that's the
Working
fucked
out.
up thing. There's just so many fat people, massive people out there who think that it's like, not what they're doing is healthy, but what they're doing is good for them. Like if someone's like, hey, why don't you have a nice smoothie and salad for lunch? That'll be healthy. They're like, nah, I like my body and I like myself, so I'll have a chocolate cake.
I don't
You
think
know,
they
I don't like
actively
I
think
hate
it's good for them.
They don't think it's healthy, but they think that it's like mentally good for them. Like, nah, I don't want to starve myself,
yeah.
and I don't eat like
To
a
some
giraffe.
degree, it is mentally good for them, right?
Yeah, of
'Cause
course
they're
it is.
doing
Yeah,
what they want.
mentally.
Yeah.
In the moment.
But I mean, have you seen that attitude where people are like, "Hey, you should go on a diet. You're gaining a few pounds or something like that," and they're like, "Nah, I don't hate myself. I'm not depressed. I'll just go ahead and treat myself because I'm not a fucking wastoid like you are. I'm not a meat freak."
I think
I hate
Notch
those kind of
feels
people.
like that. Not to call him out or anything, but I've seen a couple of tweets where he's just genuinely happy with his body, how he looks. So somebody made like a snide comment about how all fat people should die or lose weight or something, and he said, why? If someone's not, if you don't have actual problems like your knees buckling under you, what's wrong with a few couple of extra pounds?
I mean, there's a difference between just being overweight and being like morbidly obese.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's just how overweight you are that matters.
Where do you draw the line?
I mean, people aren't meant to get to be 500 pounds.
Well, not in your fascistic state.
My state's actually probably most likely where it would happen.
In my state, it would be encouraged. You would get government subsidies for every pound you gain as a man.
Because it shows that you have food.
Tax cuts for every pound you weigh.
Do you really get subsidies in Turkey for being fat?
No,
What's
what?
what
This is his
Those
plan.
imaginary states.
Oh, I'm dumb. It's been a long morning.
Jesus.
You're not following the hypotheticals today.
No,
It's-
I'm really
no,
missing out.
I don't. Obesity isn't a problem in Turkey. Well, I take
Probably
that
not,
back
right?
entirely. It is. It definitely is. Well, not obesity, but like high blood
Yeah,
sugar and
all those
everything. People do
Kebabs
get
and
fat.
shit. Those fucking
So there's a
meat.
Just a
Well,
bunch
there's
of
a
fat
saying-
Turks snacking on meat all day.
saying among Turks where they say a man without a big gut is like a house without a balcony. It's just not right.
Your houses typically have balconies?
Yeah.
Is that what you got from that?
Well, I mean, a lot of houses in America don't do balconies.
Okay, let's say.
Depends on
let
the
me
place.
Americanize this. Like a house without a yard.
Oh, that actually makes a lot more sense.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I was just saying there's a lot of fat people, basically. If you're not fat, you're not right.
People get very fat as they age. I don't know what it is. That's what I'm scared of. I'm gonna let myself go. It's
Metabolism slowing and shit.
not just that. It's just I'm gonna stop caring. Fuck the metabolism. I feel like I think I read that only accounts for like 200 calories a day or something if you have a fast or slow one. But people just stop caring. They let themselves go. It's like Doug said, right? He said, the reason I've never really gone on a diet before is because I feel like, what's the point at this point? Why even bother? I'm so far gone, are the words that he used. So I think that's just how a lot of old people think. I'm gonna die anyway. What's the point? Might as well have a
Also,
cheesecake before I die.
Also in America, there's a big cultural push to of fat acceptance. So, back in the not that long ago, you used to be shamed, or people were like, "Oh, you should try to look healthy and fit and lose weight." But now it's even easier to find support groups and people
Let's
to rally
reverse
behind
that.
you getting big.
Fucking ew.
Wasn't
Is
that
that
what
a
you want?
six pack?
Good.
Is it?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what you want. I thought you meant reverse supporting fat people. But yeah, flip that out. Instead of supporting fat people, we should shame fit people. Oh, are you at the gym? Oh.
Is that? Oh, look at that chiseled chin. Oh, God, I think I'm gonna halt. Oh, fuck.
How many miles did you run today? Oh, you ran in general? That's disgusting. Disappointed.
Run. Where's your mobility scooter? Fucking nerd. Where's your self-driving mobility scooter from Wall-E?
We should.
I think much like how people who are extremely fat or extremely overweight are unattractive, people who are extremely fit and jacked, like those bodybuilders and shit, they're also unattractive to me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, well, they are
that
to most
shit's-
people as well.
That shit's
Yeah,
gross.
that's how most people feel.
Most people, yeah, when you
Yeah.
get to that level of like jacked manimal style, you're only attractive to other like manimals in the gym.
Yeah, when they're just like dehydrated and their muscles are just really veiny, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And if,
So why do it?
if they're that big where they're also just, they look like balloons implanted in your skin or something, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
a whole lot of women... I think most women would prefer somebody with a swimmer's body like Michael Phelps or something to
Yeah, that's-
one of
that is,
those.
Someone who's clearly fit but not overdoing
Yeah.
it to some drastic
If you
measurement.
if you
think
look up
so.
women's statistics, you know how for men it's like ass and butts and thighs and all that shit. The number
Anus holes.
the number one physical
Amen.
attraction part, the number one physical attraction part on a man for women is the penis lines. That spot where your abs meet,
the Adonis,
Yeah.
the Adonis,
where your abs meet
V.
your crotch. So if you got like a swimmer's body, like a six pack or a really lean muscular fit, that's what they're looking for. For most women, not all, but that's like the
Super
number
fit
one.
people can be fun to watch in movies, though. Right? I mean, when you see Rambo in Rambo 3 just saying fuck him and then shoots a bunch of Russian people, yeah, it's kind of cool. That's fucking dope. Or
I mean, it's I think there's a spectrum. You can be a fit six pack dude. You can go like otter and just be toned. You can be a big buff guy like Stallone or Schwarzenegger. But if you're pushing it too hard in one direction, then you're gonna look fucking disgusting.
Oh yeah, it's extremes, right?
Yeah.
Any extreme.
Yeah.
I think the extremes though of muscles are really cool to watch in action movies and shit like that. Like someone like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's in that level of like extreme
fuck?
muscle, but he's so fucking cool.
Don't
He
play-
still
Plagiarize
looks
me.
cool,
He's
yeah.
Oh, The Rock.
I get it now.
Yeah. But he
Kaya means rock in Turkish, in case anyone hasn't caught up on all the episodes.
oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant I just said the same thing. They are extremely muscular men are fun to watch in action movies. I said that verbatim.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just agreeing with the point with Andrew, because where he was saying like it's unattractive and stuff, but I think it is attractive in those kind of contexts.
Yeah. And
That's a
again,
fucking
Attractive? It just looks cool.
Well, no,
It's
And
not
that's
The
attractive.
The Rock
That
is
shit
a
turns-
very
that shit turns you
No.
on.
The Rock is a very
It's The Rock's
attractive man.
personality.
Jackson.
He's very nice.
He's a very attractive man. Come on, don't do that.
I don't think he's attractive.
He might have looked
You're
goofy
just
when he had his
insecure.
curly hair when he was a wrestler, but now that he's got that buff bald guy look, he's a very attractive man. Come on now. I mean, all right, let me put it this way. He wouldn't be the number one highest paid action star in the world if he was just a big muscular guy and not handsome.
Yeah, he's a good actor too.
And that too.
Yeah, he's
I'm
a
not
good actor
arguing
too,
handsomeness. I'm arguing the muscles being the super attractive part. When those muscles start like gyrating and flexing as he's strangling out
So
a guy in
gay.
Fast and Furious, that shit's super
Charlie's
cool.
getting erect.
No, that wasn't hot. I never once popped a chubby in that theater during. Unless there was women's on screen, then yeah, maybe.
Charlie's watching
Really,
Magic
really
Mike.
strong, muscular women choking out other men.
Oh, you know.
Oh, well, that is a good thing. But does The Rock really go to that territory of too much, or is he just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's just the right amount of
He's
beef
so
boy.
much bigger than Arnie in his prime. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is nuts huge.
You think so?
Yeah, he is nutty big.
I need a size chart.
Yeah.
For comparison.
We need them to fight
Need them to fuck.
for my entertainment.
Watch their muscles bulge.
I don't
as
think
he
you-
exits his semen in him.
I don't think you want to
I
see
actually
Arnold
don't think they
naked.
possibly could. I don't think there's any chance like Arnie in his prime and Dwayne. I don't think they could possibly fuck because the muscles on their thighs would prevent any like contact, no matter how big their dicks are.
There's no penetration
happy-
possible. It won't reach.
How happy would you be if when Dwayne The Rock Johnson takes off his pants, he's just got a little mushroom dick?
He honestly, and no shitting on him, he probably does just because the rest of his body is so proportionally massive. Like he might have a regular
No, the
penis,
penis-
but looking at it on him, it's going to look tiny because of how big he is in general.
I think the penis does shrink though. Like if you get to that size, your penis does like actually shrink. It's not just like an optical illusion or something.
What do you
It
mean
definitely gets
shrink?
smaller. Like the testicles start to get smaller and more like tight in the nut sack, so it goes up higher and your penis kind of retracts a bit, doesn't it?
No, I don't know. I only ever heard the testicle part about steroids.
Steroids, right? Yeah. Well, there's
but
no way
you
these
don't
guys
have
got
to.
this big natty.
I don't know. I don't want to shit on their gains,
So
bro.
what's wrong with steroids?
What's wrong with steroids?
Yeah.
They're not very healthy long term, as far as I know. I mean, smaller balls are
But
not
they're
worth the
awesome.
trade off.
You can look like that though.
Yeah,
Like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
It also
Right, but then
enlarges
you
your
take your
organs
pants
too,
off.
though.
and the girl's gonna start laughing. That's not fun.
And that's when you flex on her.
And she
Yeah,
keeps
and
laughing
she doesn't
even
even
harder.
notice. She doesn't even notice you have a dick by that point.
Yeah, exactly. As you're trying to fuck her, which is bad. I want her to notice I have a penis if we're having sex.
It also does enlarge your organs, though, so it'll most likely kill you, make your lifespan shorter.
Yeah, that's
but
really unfortunate.
Yeah, but you'll be living most of that lifespan in pure bliss as people want to fuck you constantly.
That's a good.
Didn't we just say no one wants that when you're that big, though?
Oh yeah, when you're that
Yeah.
big, but I'm just talking about steroids to get to the attractive point, you know?
But you can get there
guess.
without them. I think you need the steroids only if you really want to be the top, most muscular beef mountain. You can look lean
I'm just
like a swinger
asking, is
without
there any
steroids.
actual downside to steroids, or should everyone be on them at this point? They're just
Anyone.
illegal.
Well, there's a lot of downsides to
food supply.
steroids.
Let's see, steroids.
Well, maybe the government doesn't want everyone on steroids because we'll overthrow them with our big muscles.
I feel like that's something China would do.
But feed steroids.
Yeah, to their population, so they have superhumans. Side effects can include developing breasts. Well, I don't want that. Get painful erections. I don't want that either. Their testicles shrink. Decreased sperm count. Become infertile. Become impotent.
That's good. That's not good.
Grow excess face and body hair. This is for women. Have their voices deepen. Experience menstrual irregularities. Have an enlarged clitoris. Ew.
Ooh, the clitoris
yeah.
starts to look like a penis.
It does.
Wow, I didn't
That's
know
pretty
that.
cool.
Have reduced breast
I
size.
just learned about that.
I'll say this to bodybuilding women, the most repulsive thing to look at.
Yeah, what's wrong with those enlarged clits? You could sword fight with them. Slap your dick around.
No,
God.
it doesn't jive. It's I don't know. It's like ketchup on an Oreo. Is when you see that muscular tit on it does, and then there's like a little puffy nipple. No, both men and women who take steroids may get acne, have an oily scalp or skin, get yellowing of the skin, become bald. Have tendon rupture, have heart attacks, have an enlarged heart, develop significant risk of liver disease and liver cancer, high levels of bad cholesterol, mood swings, fly into rages, suffer delusions.
Yeah, but that's just the bad steroids.
Yeah, they get fucking jacked though.
Also,
That's
if you
what I
give
mean, dude.
teens steroids,
Might be
they
worth
have short height due to arrested bone growth, and girls may suffer long-term masculinization. So yeah, I don't want
but
to.
they get laid a lot.
No, I don't think so. You really want to get laid with some bitch-titted, small testicle dude who can't get it up?
Well, yeah, they got the muscles there.
No,
Muscles is all that matters.
But he's right though. You do get bitch tits though on steroids.
What are bitch tits? Muscle tits or like
Moobs.
what?
You've never
Man
seen
Man tits?
Yeah, you've never seen bitch tits?
I've never heard of bitch tits, but if you're talking about moobs, yeah.
I love the word bitch tits. Oh yeah, those aren't good. Holy shit. Okay,
Synthol's
I gotta
another
run.
really goofy one.
Gotta run.
Wait, what?
No, sorry. No, I was gonna say I have to go, but I do want to talk about Synthol. That shit is fucking awesome. God, I love those people.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's really fucking goofy.
It looks like they've just surgically put balloons under their skin.
Right,
not
that's what I'm
surgical.
saying.
Burst.
That's what's so fucking.
You can-
not to be a sadist, but to have so much fun at another human being's expense. What they do to their bodies, and it looks so fucking goofy.
Why? Why do they do it?
You know you can do Synthol like at home. Basically what you'd need is just vegetable oil and a syringe, and you inject it into your muscle. Shit just hardens and it makes your muscles blow up like that and all cartoonish and shit like a bad anime artist.
Isn't that really dangerous though? Like, what about that lady in China who did that to her face and now she like leaks grease out of her pores?
Oh, Synthol is one of the worst things you can do to your body. Yeah, Synthol is horrible for you.
yeah. But you'll get jacked.
Some furry died because he
doesn't make you
injected
stronger.
saline into his balls. You guys hear that? Some big fat bear furry. Oh god, remind me next time. We're running out of time, but there's this whole cult of furry bears, and their cult leader would, as a condition of joining the cult, they would have to inflate their balls with saline, and one of them got an infection and died. Dick
Christ.
Masterson actually did it live on his show. He had a furry come over to inflate his balls a little bit. Not all the way, but a little.
That's fucking nuts.
That's really scary.
People are really dedicated to their kinks, I guess.
Man, furry cults go hard. Wow. I thought they were all pussies, but that's pretty extreme.
Oh no, they're not.
I'm impressed.
They're not pussies in that sense. They are the creepiest of creepy people. There's this other furry who tried to have, well, he succeeded. He managed to get his hands amputated so he could feel like he has paws instead.
Whoa, actually, I know exactly what story you're talking about. I think that one's fake.
No.
What Kai is talking about is there's a furry couple, and allegedly one of them dipped his hands into dry ice until they were irrecoverable. They could never heal, so he had to get them amputated to put paws on. But that's based off of a tweet where the guy said, "I really wish I could take these hands off and have paws." There's no telling if he actually did that for paws.
Right, but that
And the
coupled
evidence
with
points
the
to it
fact
being true, but
I've never fallen asleep with my hand in dry ice. I imagine it would hurt a lot. That just doesn't seem... It's like if I said I fell asleep with my face on the stove. That doesn't happen.
Wait, so Kai, you're saying he actually did do it? You've got like a news article that confirms it? Oh.
well, he did. He did
confirm-
have to get his hands amputated.
Yeah. I'm talking motive.
Oh, well then he definitely did actually want to do it, obviously.
Yeah,
Are you arguing against that, Charlie?
Well, he himself said he didn't do it for paws, though. It's just that tweet makes it seem like that happened for paws.
It's
So, I
pretty
don't know.
suspicious, though.
I'll give him the benefit
He's
of
a
the doubt because
furry.
I really can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah.
That just doesn't sound like something anyone would ever do. Saline in the balls, maybe. Yeah, I could see me doing that, maybe. But I'd never like amputate my hands just so I can have stuffed paws, because you can do that with hands too.
Yeah, but Charlie, people
So
have
it
the
just doesn't make
creepiest,
sense.
weirdest
Feel like
fetishes.
paws.
I mean, there's people who have mental illnesses that makes them think their legs don't belong, so they beg doctors to amputate healthy legs. These people are just fucking weird.
I mean, yeah, you'll get no argument from me.
We need to do an episode on these people. Kiwi Farms has entire threads on these creeps.
I saw a really attractive... I've never seen like an attractive woman furry until the other day. And she took off her mask and she was super attractive, and it really made me
Question
more
things.
uncomfortable. Yeah, more uncomfortable than anything, knowing that, wow, there might be some real hotties in the furry market. Untapped potential.
It's probably the only one,
But
Jackson.
certainly not Untapped.
And it's not
Definitely
Untapped, yeah.
Untapped. I'm just saying, I'd climb into that fursuit.
Okay, let's.
It still smell like shit.
Ladies.
Yeah, ew.
Yeah, after I fart in there too.
Ugh.
That's your target market there, Jackson. The female
Are we filling
furries.
her up?
Jackson wants to lick her armpits.
Wouldn't mind it. The synthol looks just goofy though. I really can't understand synthol. Why do people do that? Just do steroids. Like we've already.
People get desperate,
It's
man.
faster than steroids. The people that do synthol are the people that literally can't lift like a 30-pound barbell, but they still want to be jacked, so they do synthol.
Yeah,
It's the goofiest
they're
shit.
desperate. People
They always get the
desperate.
same
so
muscles too.
goofy.
It's always only the bicep and only the traps. I don't know why they immediately go for those two muscle groups. They don't inject any of the other muscles. It's always bicep and traps, and then they look like a cobra or something, but a goofy one that got transmorgrified into a human.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the shoulders are always like super scrawny and shit.
It looks like he has ball sacks on his arm. Looks like a Halloween costume. I'm Liu Kang, but with balls for arms. God. These people are fucking stupid. All right, come on, let's wrap.
I honestly think there's no more fun-looking people than synthol addicts.
It looks like where the episode of where SpongeBob inflates his arms
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they explode or whatever.
Anchor arms.
It looks
Anchor arms,
exactly
yeah.
like that to me.
That happens with synthol too. When you have synthol in your system, like in your muscles for so long, sometimes it explodes. There's a Russian guy named Kirill. They call him the Russian Hulk. His arms are 100% synthol. It's just his biceps, and they've exploded like twice, and he still, like the second they heal, puts more synthol into them.
What the fuck?
What a disgrace to Russia. Imagine the Russian Hulk comes along.
man.
It's all fake. Oh, ew, God.
Alrighty.
Put those
Yeah,
on
this,
this
it's
video.
this is
that's
gross. This is disgusting.
Well, that's the end of this episode.
Go to
Thank
patreon.com/theofficial
you,
podcast to listen live.
What he said. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Patreon.com/theofficial podcast. We'll see you next week. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.